If you look back at row 238 and the 15th person along, that's me. And the mass of the cop choir. And we used to love singing. To be fair, some of the words in there were not included in the Baptist praise and worship hymn book. I have no reason to understand why that was the case. But all those years of supporting this team and going to the ground, I thought, as a youngster, I knew that place well. Until the opportunity came to go on a guided tour. And as a young person, walking onto the pitch gave me a fresh perspective. And then being able to sit in the dugout where King Kenny used to sit, King Kenny Dalglish. And I sat there. And then go to the changing rooms, and then to the trophy room. That was obviously a very long visit. There's been a few extensions since that time. And all these things opened my eyes until the guide said right at the end, of course, we're just scratching the surface. If you go to the other part of the ground, there's conference rooms and facilities, restaurants, and there's a great big shop that you can go and visit as well. I don't know whether you've ever had that experience where you came away thinking, there's more to this than I ever imagined. And over the years, for me, the gospel has been like that. For many years on my journey of faith, when I first became Christian, I thought the gospel was all about saving souls. And is there anything as wonderful as when someone receives Jesus and walks in his way? But like my eyes being open on the tour of that wonderful stadium, so the gospel has become bigger than I ever imagined. This came home to me when a year or two we did a Bible study on the book of Revelation, and I have some people here who I thanked for sharing some notes with me. But one of those key moments in the book of Revelation is chapter 11, verse 15. The kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ, and he will reign forever and ever. It's that amazing moment when Jesus returns and his kingdom has been fully realized. And the good news is that all evil has been defeated by the Lamb who sits on the throne. And I tried to capture this when we did this study, a little diagram, probably poorly, and you won't be able to see all of it, but I'll talk just a little bit through it. But that title, He Who Was Seated on the Throne, said, I am making, present tense, I am making everything new. Everything is put right, with people at the heart being made in God's image, but also corrupt political systems overcome as the earth shall be filled with the glory of God as the waters cover the sea. Military power defeated as they will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. World's idols will bow before the Lamb who sits on the throne, who is full of truth and grace. And greed-driven economic forces, we read, will be transformed as people see where true treasure lies. All powers of darkness vanquished as the light of the world reigns supreme. And creation will be renewed, not disposed of, as our God makes everything new. It is done, says God. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Mission accomplished. This is good news. And it's more all-encompassing than I ever imagined. And as we have seen, creation is part of God's good news story. He is making everything new. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Heaven and earth as we're coming together. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. This really came home to me about 10 years ago. That was 2010. I've got it in my note here, so in case I wasn't good on the maths. We did a Bible study at church called Future Shape. It was promoted, I think, by BMS at the time, and they were using resources that were provided by the Christian charity A Rocha, which I'm sure many of you will have heard of. At the end of the series, something happened which I'd love if it happened more often. But a small group of people, about 4 or 5, came and said, we'd like to keep the momentum going about this particular subject. Regarding Creation Care, would it be all right to start a team? And so a Creation Care team was formed, or as a green team, as we often call them. And I have to say that it's through this team that over the years I have learned so much of what it means to worship and serve the God of creation. I've not led them, I've not come up with the ideas, so I come as the non-expert this afternoon. Simply my role has been to encourage them in their endeavours. To help us think through Creation Care, the Green Team have encouraged our church to engage with the A Rocha initiative, which again many of you will be aware of, called Eco Church. Eco Church covers 5 various elements. It's basically a template or a framework that challenges and encourages the church to engage seriously with creation. The 5 areas are shown there: worship and teaching, management of church buildings, management of church land, community and global engagement, and lifestyle. And little by little, the impact on the life of the church has been significant. Locally within the fellowship, we've simply had lots of fun as we've engaged with this topic. One year it was in the news about the decline in bees. And so the Green Team said, well, let's encourage everyone to plant flowers and plants that encourages bees and butterflies. And so we had a sunflower competition. We've all probably done that in our pasts. We had a good time doing it, although one of our members, if you can see the picture there, he'd actually lost the official sunflower seeds that he was given and went out and bought some, I have to say, contraband seeds. David Southall, shown in the picture there, I know this is not being recorded, who's a Baptist minister, was banned, the only Baptist minister banned from a sunflower competition. We had lots of fun as families sent these seeds around the country and pictures started coming back. And although it had an important focus, it was just helped to build community in a small little way. We also have a notice board for Creation Care, including one little section that says free to a good home. If people are wanting to get rid of something or don't need it anymore, they put this on the notice board. And personally, I've managed to get some good shelves for my study along the way. But again, simple thing, what happens? People meet, go to people's houses, a community is built. On a couple of occasions, the Green Team encouraged the church to spend more time enjoying God's creation through the Quiet Garden scheme. Don't know if you've ever come across this. And so we went away to these particular homes, gardens that Christians have opened up. They give you a theme to think about, and for a couple of hours just sit in quietness. Let creation speak, but let the theme also speak to you. It's refreshed our hearts and our souls. It's nourished us. Also locally, we've made contacts with different groups who are interested in Creation Care, Worcestershire Wildlife Trust, Transition Worcester, and others. People that we probably would never have come into contact with before. But now either visiting them or asking them to come to the church and speak. It certainly got us out and about. We've also supported Creation Care initiatives on a global scene. I'm sure many of you have heard of toilet twinning. We had a fun night raising funds for this. Somebody went out and bought different samples of toilet roll from different supermarkets, and you had to guess which supermarket they came from, and that went down very well. Literally went down very well. The Green Team have also been one of the drivers in the church to help support our friends in Uganda who worked at Bidi Bidi refugee settlements. There was an urgent need for temporary toilets. We're not obsessed with toilets, but this was another project. And we helped to raise funds for that as well. I went to visit the work that had been completed. Many of you had heard of Tools of the Mission. This has had an unusual impact because people in the community have heard that we collect tools, they're refurbished, I think in Coventry, then sent around the world to help a livelihood creation, I think they call it. But as the community has learnt about this, I've taken a few funerals where people have come and said afterwards, these were my dad's tools. I believe that you send them for good cause. He would love it that to be the case. And so we've managed to do this. It has helped us to keep in contact with people in surprising ways. Jesus said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. As I reflect on our eco journey with Eco Church and Creation Care, it reminds me that when you walk in the way of truth, you see life in all its fullness. We've been challenged, but we've had lots of fun and laughter along the way. We have learned more about the God of creation. Along the way, our community life together has been blessed, and the spiritual impact has been significant. The mission of the church has expanded, and we've met lots of different people.
2 minutes.
So, with 2 minutes to go. Is Creation Care our main focus now in the life of the church? No. There's still a small team who are involved in this. But is it now part of our DNA? Yes, it is. Along with evangelism and other acts of kindness and so forth, it is part of the fabric, if you like, of our mission. God so loved the world. I believe that word in Greek, I'm not a Greek expert, is cosmos. God so loved the cosmos. Maybe the gospel is bigger than we ever imagined. To celebrate our 10th anniversary of our Green Team, we wanted to do something different this year, so we started with just maybe a special Sunday service. It's grown into a conference, and so we are looking forward to that in October, and we're very thankful to St. Peter's Baptist Church for allowing us to use their facilities. So here's a little plug. You'll see more about this in the months to come. Simply a conference to encourage churches to engage with Creation Care. It's in October on the 17th. So more information will come out about that in the future. Thank you.